now it seems like we've got it cleared up, and our lead official.
Bright.
They are. They're always shining bright on you, Brooke. And we're underway. And the ball will belong to the Seminoles. Florida State 3-1. They're only lost to UConn, but they made 12 threes against UConn. And Brooke, they aspire to shoot 35 threes a game.
I love when a coach can set a number to say, hey, this is where we are. And that doesn't surprise me. You know, Brooke Wyckoff wants to get these players up, shooting and moving. You know, the world champion Las Vegas Aces, Becky Hammond, says we try to shoot 30 a game.
Shavers misses the first shot for Florida State. This is Chesky, the star for Indiana. Big Ten Player of the Week after the first week of the season. Only 5'7", puts up massive numbers. Beaumont will take it down the lane. She gets stopped. Now leans in and will shoot and scores. Lenee Beaumont with the first bucket of the game.
It'll be interesting, Sam, to see how both teams start, because slow starts have plagued both of these clubs. So you see the aggressiveness that they're trying to play with. Get right into the paint, attack and run.
Caffey will push it up the floor. They expect big things from Caffey before all is said and done. A talented freshman. Was a Miss Show Me basketball in the state of Missouri last year. And Indiana needs the third scorer. Chesky and Sokagume are the two that score the most. That was Sokagume that lost it out of bounds.
And that's the two-man game they love, but you're right. Where's that third score and fourth score going to come from? And Caffey's just a freshman, but Terry Morin praised her maturity, just how she came in ready to play.
So watch 10 in red and 23 in red, the two leading scorers for Indiana. Shot clock is at 8. It did not reset. Here's Caffey going to work down the lane. Comes through. 3 is on the way. And good by Valentina Kadletsova. Now they barely make any threes a game compared to Florida State. They only average 5 a game and have 1 right away. Green offensive foul, and Indiana with a 5-0 lead.
And 2 huge big plays for Kadletsova as you look at both on the offensive end, hitting the 3 off a great pass. And as you see Terry Morin, the winningest head coach in program history, there's still some more to go.
This would be win number 250. She has led the way 10 straight 20-win seasons at Indiana. One of the most respected coaches, both these coaches, so respected as former players and coaches. Fun to talk basketball with both of them. Chesky setting up the offense for the Hoosiers. Shot clock again down to 6. And a foul inside. Brooke Wyckoff, head coach for Florida State. And before doing an outstanding job as the head coach here, was an outstanding player. One of 5 players to have their jersey retired, and that's of significance today because at halftime, Natasha Howard will actually become the 5th player to have her jersey retired here at Florida State.
Are you talking about 3-time WNBA champion Natasha Howard?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Can't wait to see that.
Davis on the block going to work. Good D by Sokagunen. And out of bounds will give the ball back to Indiana. Z, Sokagumen. Real name is Zania, but she goes by Z. What a blessing she's been to this Indiana team early.
No doubt. The transfer from UCLA who came in and said, you know, I want to be at my position as a 5. She told us today, look, I'd like to be quicker than the taller players and stronger than the shorter ones. So this matchup inside today between her and Davis is going to be fun to watch.
Beaumont, nice move inside, comes up short. Davis for the rebound. Seminoles still looking for their first bucket, and we're 2.5 minutes in. This is Bowles. Bowles throws it up, no foul called. And I think we're gonna have a foul called, a trip.
Yeah, that was on Bowles, who still kind of working through some finishing at the rim, where I think that's a moment when players drive in deep and you're either off balance, the way she is, here, and loses her balance as she's going up to shoot. You know, for players to try to collect themselves, get their balance, and then dish it off. That's one of the nuances I think coaches are wanting to see. Better decision-making under pressure and in the pocket.
Florida State going to the bench. They only have 1 freshman on the roster. That's number 1 in white. Mari Girton is into the game for the first time today. Chesky working her magic for the bucket.
A little shake and bake with a floater. I'm not mad at that.
I was so looking forward to watching her play today.
Okay, the sharpness and excitement in her eyes. She said everything about the way that she wants to get this team started and the way she leads.
Davis, nice move inside, missed it, got the rebound, however. And as bodies hit the deck, foul called against Indiana. Foul's going to be on Beaumont, and that'll be her first.
What I do see from Indiana early is something that Coach Morin talked specifically about in shoot-around. She said, I need to see the physicality. I need to see you be physical with them and do it early. We have to be that team to come in and punch first.
Yeah, it's been a different season for Terry Morin and her staff, a lot like when they first got the job at Indiana. It's a rebuild year for them, but rebuilding with incredible talent. Davis missing the jumper again, and Florida State just cannot find the bottom of the net. And for Indiana, they're doing a lot of individual meetings, a role identity. I love that, where they sit players down and describe their role on the team.
Well, so many players come into programs, and you think about how many new players are on the teams each year, right? So every year you could be a main scorer on one team and come in and have to play defense on the next and not get the ball as much. So it's constantly reshuffling your role.
Shavers, yeah, Shavers got the first basket of the game for Florida State. Again, Florida State leads the ACC top 10 in the nation in made threes. They make 11 a game, but they have only taken 1 3 so far and missed it. They're 1 for 9 to open the game.
Well, one thing, when you do shoot a lot of threes, teams expect that. So sometimes it opens up the drive. And I think Shavers is that great player to make that decision. Coming off a 28. Whoa! Against Nicholls State.
Green.
How about the 5th row for that one?
Says, get that out of here. Tatum Green with the exclamation point block.
Well, she did lead Boston College in blocks, but this one's real nice. Let's see how far up it goes. Does anybody feel a little Zion Williams replay right there?
Indiana keeps the ball. Florida State bringing in a lot of new players in that timeout. Shot clock is at 5. We'll set the lineup in a minute. Chesky over much taller defender Green and scores.
See, that's where you get a sense of her confidence, right? At 5'7", she's going right in there, but doesn't go into traffic and just throw up a shot. Instead, a little spin move, get some space, and let it fly.
Shot over the 6'3" Green. Here's a 3 on the way, off the mark by Bowles. Offensive rebound, Florida State. Bonner into the game. Florida State right now with Girton, Bonner, Bowles, Green, and Treadwell. And Indiana will make a sub now as well and bring in Odessa Noyan, who is from Sweden, number 8 in red, coming in and replacing Soka Guman. Florida State 4 offensive rebounds, Brooke, but just struggling to make shots.
They're rushing, Sam. They're rushing through their plays without getting a hold of the ball, and give Indiana's pressure a lot of credit. That defense came to play.
Caffey got the steal, is going down, and Girton with the foul. Girton, the only freshman on this Florida State team.
This is a little freshman to freshman action right here, saying, hey, I'm not going to let you get the better of me here. And a hard foul for Girton, who comes from Cincinnati. Of course, Brooke Wyckoff also from there as well. The only freshman on the team. That'd be a tough role.
She was fearless going after Caffey there. Caffey just made the first free throw. Caffey's the player that could become the 3rd scorer for Indiana, Coach Morin was telling us.
And a fearless one
Yeah.
like that. You love that
Speaking
attitude
of
as a
that.
freshman, right? Literally what we just saw.
They're guarding each other right now. Caffey picking Girton up full court. It's Treadwell with her first touch. Good start for Indiana, 11-2. Girton picked up her dribble. Sliding through the lane is Bonner. Nice rebound by Treadwell and cleans it up.
That's what you want to see, offensive rebounds if you're Florida State, because you're constantly going to be driving, shooting, and attacking. That was Indiana's 2nd point of emphasis today, was boxing out, make sure you keep them off the offensive glass.
Nice look inside off the mark for Noyan, and the Seminoles trailing by 7, looking to get back in this quickly. Bowles working her way down the lane and finishes. Sydney Bowles, Dean's List student, as a civil engineering major, figured out a way to score there.
Yeah, didn't have to write too many instructions, just saw A to Z. Let's go.
Kadlitsova to Beaumont. Beaumont had the first bucket of the game. Shot clock down to 6. 3 is on the way from Noyon, off the mark. Seminoles down by 5 with a chance to make up some ground here. Started cold today. Indiana started hot. And a foul called as Green went around the screen. And that look is the look of a player who wishes she was in the game right now.
No, that's right. Well, it's a bummer for Florida State. She's coming off a career high 23 points, 5 threes, 5 steals. She's starting to hit that high note, but day to day, and so like you said, should be back here soon.
Seminoles will play the Gators of Florida on Thursday. Noyon inside, good pass too from Caffey. Florida State has had some offensive momentum. They've made 3 of their last 5 shots. Lead is 7 now for Indiana. Green working her way to the basket, and a foul called against Chesky of Indiana. But I think that's actually a foul Terry Moran would take based on the way she was encouraging her team to be physical.
I just would say she didn't agree with it by the way she looked at the official, but certainly you'll take it, right? She told us today, I'd rather have to turn a player's aggressiveness down than have to light them up.
Bowles on the right side of the lane, good D. Treadwell tied up. Treadwell tied up by Noyon from behind, and the possession arrow will give the ball back to Indiana. Treadwell, a 6'3" junior from Knoxville. He's one of the 3 future engineers on this team, a chemical engineering major.
I wish I could just jump into one of their brains for the day to analyze the game as an engineer.
Yeah,
Math and I don't really, math, science and I, we're kind of a little bit more adversarial.
Yeah, Brooke Wyckoff said it's very different having the 3 engineering majors on the roster. You have to approach things differently. They are very much Y people. 3 on the way and good from Emma Risch. Risch, who came in from Notre Dame healthy after struggling with injuries in the first 2 years of her career. That's a good sign.
I love to see that start for her. A player who's had season-ending injuries both her freshman and sophomore year. She deserves that time on the floor, so good to see her knock one in early.
Stotine into the game. Her first shot is off the mark. Stotine came in from Arkansas, just a sophomore from the Netherlands. Kubek. Bowles had it knocked away. Good hands by Chesky.
Chesky defensively.
Yeah, Bowles will shoot over this time.
Oh!
Good! Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Whoa!
She said, I'll take your challenge and I'll accept.
So the threes heating up for Florida State. Again, the average making just over 11 a game. Their goal is to shoot 35 threes. They've shot 4 today.
You know what made that shot even more impressive was the fact that she got the ball knocked out of her hands right before she shot that ball. And for Chesky to come back and respond the way she does, that tells you she's a gamer.
Yeah, Chesky leading Indiana 6 points. Loose ball will be picked up by Florida State. Final minute of the quarter, another 3 on the way. And Noyon going to get called for a foul underneath. And while we have a break, a reminder of our Wednesday night women's basketball doubleheader. Zoe Brooks and Camille Pierre, number 10 NC State, will host Brooks' alma mater, Coastal Carolina, at 6 Eastern. And then Laura Ziegler in Louisville will host Morehead State. Both those games available also on the all-new ESPN app.
Well, I know Coastal and NC State both played TCU, which is just a huge team to go up against.
Yeah.
So NC State kind of looking to get that edge back, and slow starts have plagued them also. So looking to get going back early after a couple early losses to some ranked teams.
Bowles trying to get loose, nothing there. Kubek muscles her way down the lane, but took an extra step. And Kubek turns it over. Kubek came in from Maryland. 1 season of eligibility here at Florida State. But what an inspiration she is. She's overcome 2 ACL tears and a broken back.
Oh, that is an incredible story of endurance and pure will to get back on the court and trust your body again to do that. And for Florida State, this is a 3-time tournament player at Maryland. So she's been in the NCAAs. She had a great run last year as well. So, you know, somebody who can give you that experience and knowledge.
Chesky swatted out of bounds by Davis.
I love it was kind of with some attitude, right? Just a little bit. Yes. Not too much, though. Not too much. Just a little statement. I like it.
Yeah, very
this
subtle.
Is the way, yeah, you got to play with an edge. You know, you're in these conferences. You're going to survive or not by the way you play mentally.
Send the message.
That's
Shot
right.
clock is at 8. Sokaguman back in the game. Shot clock down to 5. She spins back to her left and scores over the left shoulder.
When she's settled in and cannot necessarily take times with her moves, but read the defense with that half beat, it works out well for her.
Final seconds of the quarter. Kubek. Back out to Shavers. Off the mark for the 3. Sokaguman with a rebound, and that will end the quarter. So the Indiana Hoosiers come out.
2. And that's what Brooke Wyckoff has built her roster around.
They took 6 in the first quarter. And obviously Soleil Williams would be a player that would be out there shooting threes right now. They get the 2 from Davis to open the quarter. Soleil Williams being held out today, day to day. She's 3rd in the ACC in threes made per game, so they're missing that production. Makaleski into the game for Indiana, number 3 in white. First time she's been on the floor today. There's Stotine getting the start in the quarter. And a kick, it'll stay with Indiana. Both these teams go to their bench often, Brooke. Just about everybody on the roster is going to see minutes.
Well, and the rosters are definitely different. Indiana travels with about 13, 14 players, and Florida State being down. And as we mentioned, their 4th game in 10 days. So you just wonder if, as the game, of course, this game goes along, will we see Florida State start to get heavy legs?
Chesky stolen away
So far.
by Girton. Girton leads the pass to Risch, threw it a little too far out in front, and a turnover will give it back to Indiana. Turnover number 4 on the Seminoles. That's a point of emphasis for Indiana today. They had a really tough time against Marshall the other night, turned it over 28 times, and they've got to be happy with the improvement today, Brooke. Only 2 so far.
Yeah, that really helps, and it's, you know, sometimes can be forced, but a lot of times they're just unforced turnovers, and you got to work through those.
Good move inside. Sokagunan, though, couldn't finish. Davis leads the break. Out to Girton. Off the mark, Risch cleans it up with the bank. How about the Davis, though? You gotta love that. 6'6", and brought the ball up the floor like a point guard.
Okay, and then the play before, she just breaks you down off the top of the key and drives for the finish. That is a dangerous weapon. And Brooke Wyckoff said the first time they saw her, they were like, yes, let's try to sign her right away.
3 off the mark. There's Davis battling for the rebound. Could not quite grab it. And a scrum. Finally, a jump ball called. It'll stay on this end. A little more like rugby out there.
Did you see by the end of it?
They were begging for the official.
Davis was holding on to Girton's leg. Watch this. This is what you want to see. Coaches are like, look, 50-50 ball. This is a win. You win the 50-50 ball, you're going to win. Look at her grabbing onto Girton's leg. She's like, oh, wait, is that my teammate?
So
hold on tight.
The ball will stay with Indiana. Chesky gets it into Sokaguman, now takes it back. Stotine picked up by Girton. Shot clock at 10. Beaumont driving in on Risch, muscles it up and in. Good take.
Great decision by Beaumont, too. You said muscles in. She's got that frame and sizing to go up against Emma Risch to back her down and score.
Builds Indiana's lead back up to 3, and Girton stepped out of bounds trying to shake Stotine. Good D by Phoenix Stotine.
And Terry Moran is so happy with the way Stotine is playing defense right now. She's quick. She can anticipate. Look, getting her hands right there, just enough to knock you off balance and get the turnover. And now offensively, if she can have that next play mentality, that's where the growth will happen.
Seminole basketball, 7:35 left to play here in the half. Soka Nguman came from UCLA, said she is so happy to be a Hoosier, really has embraced the Indiana basketball culture. So fun when you walk in a basketball arena and see the candy cane striped warm-up pants that the Indiana teams wear. It says college basketball. Whistle is Shavers was trying to get loose. Chesky gets called for the foul. Here's the pass before the game, bro.
Oh, Sam was going crazy. You
Yeah.
love these. I mean, this is instant nostalgia. This is like, I mean, I'm assuming you like me, like grew up watching Indiana in the
Hoosiers,
80s,
come on.
you know,
Yeah.
right, Hoosiers the movie, Bad Night, legendary.
Kubak off the mark on the three. Rish again, this time misses. Another offensive rebound by Florida State, though. They're doing a good job on the offensive boards, just not able to finish as often as they'd like so far.
I still feel like they're rushing shots. And understandable, still the beginning of the season. It's a highly competitive game. You want to show out.
Yeah, Beaumont. Illinois missed basketball a couple of years ago. And a 6-point lead for Indiana.
And she's a player who could be a big difference maker. Played as a freshman, 30 games, not a ton of time, but then got injured. So this is her comeback year.
Treadwell with a nice move inside, scoring over Soka Nguman, who did a good job not to foul. Again, Indiana looking for that third scorer behind Soka Nguman and Chesky, and Beaumont today has had a good game so far.
And Treadwell's 2 for 2.
Beaumont with 7 points and another turnover.
And defensively, she is disrupting the game. Soka Nguman and her have gone head-to-head a couple times, and she's been able to force the turnover or a difficult shot.
Caffey coming back in for Stowtine. Indiana's been making good use of the bench. So is Florida State. Both players trying to stay fresh. How much are you juggling the lineup this time of year, Brooke?
Well, I think it depends on each coach. You know, some coaches just kind of feel like they want to go with the same because they just found their starters early, but I would imagine a lot of coaches are still trying to shuffle and figure out, you know, who's best at what position and at what time. And then you've got obviously early season sicknesses, you've got injuries. So I would say a majority of coaches aren't exactly set with their lineups until maybe late December, January. 7
newcomers again there without Soleil Williams today, has a minor injury, averaging 18 a game. That foul was on Noyon. Little step back jumper, good by Sydney Bowles.
That jumper's nice. She's shown us the ability to finish at the rim in difficult situations, hit a long distance three, and now a mid-range. You know what they call that? A 3-level score. Very dangerous.
Bowles, one of the captains of this Florida State team, on and off the court. Coach telling us that today. Here's Beaumont again, going to work inside, missed. Treadwell rips the rebound away.
She's solid. She is holding it down in the post today.
Florida State can tie or take the lead. Bowles putting the team on her back and ties the score.
She's throwing them bowls out there. Just score after score, getting Florida State back to even Steven here. And you can feel these fans are loving it.
Again, first road game of the season for Indiana. First time they've had a crowd against them. Beaumont draws the foul on Rish and will go to the line.
Addition to the locker room, to the floor, defense, offense. She literally contributes from all over the floor. I mean, that suit is popping, by the way. We need to see that again, yes, with the tie as well. You love to see it. Natasha Howard, just an absolute legend here and somebody who's helped set the culture of the program moving forward.
She will be the 5th player to have her jersey retired in this school's history. Brooke Wyckoff, head coach, is one of those 5. Her jersey hangs in the rafters here as well. So Beaumont made both those free throws coming out of the timeout to put Indiana up by 2 here in the second quarter. Seminoles with the basketball. Supposed to have quite an elaborate ceremony. They were practicing earlier today around shoot-around time. Shot is off the mark, cleaned up by Caffey. Here comes Beaumont. Beaumont bumps Rish, no foul, gets her own miss, and now we'll pull it out.
And this is a good move by Indiana. Reset, get the shot you want. She would have been shooting into traffic.
Florida State, quite a run right now. They outscored Indiana by 6 before that last bucket. Not a shot clock violation, but it's going to end up being Florida State's ball anyway. The shot hit the rim, so not
That's
really sure.
what I was about to say. The shot hit the rim, so I'm not sure.
Well, they get the team that got the rebound got the ball.
Okay,
so.
as long as it ends up fair.
At least they're giving it to the right team. So early season for everybody. Bowles bringing it up, gets a screen from Davis. And into the game for the first time for Indiana's Faith Wiseman, number 31. And picks up her first foul. Wiseman, a 6'4" sophomore. And now we'll go to the bench. Gave Soka and Guman a little break. And Z back in the game. Davis going to work inside. Soka Guman wouldn't give her the baseline, and Davis traveled.
That is a great job adjusting defensively for Soka Guman, because she got into early foul trouble in their last game. She comes right in, and what do? They challenge her. Davis says, I'm going to take you right to the cup. And her footwork allowed her to create that turnover through pressure. It was a good job adjusting.
Journey Kyaku, number 7 in red, into the game for the first time for Indiana. Soka Guman facing Davis, now goes baseline. Beaumont will shoot the 3, good! Lenee Beaumont now with 12 points, and that is a career high for her.
And that's the kind of crispy passing you need if you're the Hoosiers. You got to drive, read, and react.
And a foul on that rebound. Now it's going to go against the Hoosiers. Here's that last play.
You see how they're whipping that pass around? You go from inside, you get it all the way up to the baseline, and then the quick touch pass over to Beaumont, who addressed their sloppy start, is how she quoted it against Marshall. She said, we've got to stay together. We've got to move forward as one team. Love her leadership from the 6'1" sophomore. That's how you control a press conference. Don't let us rally you up now.
Soka Guman committed the foul. That was her second. Panya Davis on the free throw line now came from New Mexico Junior College. She's an Aussie, one of the many Australians in college basketball this year, and coach telling us about the video that went viral of her and just how she immediately captured their attention the first time they saw her play. She was a netball player in Australia. Ever seen netball, Brooke?
I have, and I need to see her play netball to see. I want to see how it's properly done, because it's such an interesting looking sport. You got no backboard up there.
Yeah, a lot of similarities to basketball, no backboard. She switched to basketball.
You don't dribble either, right?
No,
netball?
you got to be constantly pass, but she switched to basketball because she knew the doors that could open for her in that sport. Very wise decision.
And they will. But you're right. I mean, we talked about in the open about she was the #1 JUCO prospect. As a freshman, 19 blocks in one game. Wow. That's instant scholarship if I'm a head coach.
Beaumont's had the hot hand for Indiana.
See Indiana trying to break that pressure from Florida State, going back door, but good read, it wasn't there. Chesky going right at him.
Again, Chesky, only 5'7", Big Ten Player of the Week. She averaged 29 a game in the first 2 games of the season for them. And just such an inspiration to all undersized players. Plays with a chip on her shoulder. Good lob down low to Davis. Give Bowles the assist.
How about that vision from Bowles? We've seen her score. Now we're seeing her playmaking capabilities. This high-low, her to Panya Davis, that could be a dangerous combo.
Both these teams made the second round of the NCAA tournament last year. Soka Guman double team comes over. Good job by Risch to get her underneath and tie Soka Guman up. And the ball will go to the other end.
Well, they call her Shaysky, and here she is coming off the drive. This is how strong she is. Look at her taking the contact, still staying in line and finishing inside the lane in the paint.
She told us earlier today, she said, my whole life, nobody ever really believed in me. She said, nobody thought I'd play high-level D1. I was supposed to be a mid-major player, so I still play with a little chip on my shoulder, and you can see it. And the way she plays the game, so fun to watch. Number 10 in red there.
And looks like she had a serious cupping session before tonight's game.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, her mentality with that bulldog approach, you have to have that extension of your coach on the floor, and that's something else. I said, the way that you talk, the way that you speak in press conferences about your team, you sound like a head coach. And she said, yeah, I want to share my coach's voice on the floor. You know, and not only that, one of the great assistants and former players for Indiana, Allie Patberg, legendary guard, is literally her personal one-to-one mentor. And so she's getting all that gold advice from Patberg.
That was on Caffey. And a reminder, Tuesday, we have a men's basketball doubleheader here on ACC Network. Caleb Wilson and the number 18 North Carolina Tar Heels host Navy at the Smith Center at 7 Eastern. And then Syracuse will take on Monmouth after, both available on the all-new ESPN app as well.
Sam, you're a Carolina alum, right?
I am.
Okay, do you know how many total program wins Carolina has coming into this game?
I do not.
I'm going to stump you here.
I only count championships.
Okay, well, they are going for program win 2,400. They're at 23.99 right now.
Wow.
I thought that was kind of cool.
I'm even more impressed with my alma mater. Caffey, long two. Oh, in and out. Final 1:45 of the half. Florida State with a chance to tie or take the lead here on this possession. Indiana's given the Seminoles all they can handle in this first half. And a foul out front near the ball, and foul's going to be on Caffey again. And for Caffey, that'll be her second foul, and put the Seminoles back on the free throw line with 1:38 left to play in the half.
You see that exchange right there with Beaumont and Chesky, just giving her that, it's all right, next play, you got it. Keep up that defense. Caffey came in as a fearless player. They say she's defensively gifted. You see those quick hands right there. But kind of know the timing, how far away you are from the basket, not worth picking up that early foul and putting Florida State on the line.
Bowles with 11 points right now, makes the free throw. Bowles averages 9 a game, trying to make up the 18 a game they're not having today with Soleil Williams out of the game. And Bowles will head to the bench with 12 points so far and be replaced by Jasmine Shavers. Shavers guarding the inbounds pass for Florida State. It's been a good first half, back and forth. Two teams in very similar situations in terms of what they're trying to establish this season. Both replacing a lot from last year. Caffey, good move, doesn't get it to go down. Soka Nguyen with a nice offensive board. Here's Chesky. Can she create something? Throws it down low, and one for Soka Nguyen.
What a great possession for the Hoosiers. That was patience with aggressive play. Look at the drive, the dish, figuring out where the holes are in the defense and finding them. And then Soka Nguyen with the tough finish, starting with a big rebound from her. I thought that's what really kept the play alive.
Soka Nguyen is from Maryland. Her mother's from Cameroon. Her mother, and her brother have their own foundation called the JASA Foundation. It supports children and women who face challenges in that country. It's been a very successful foundation. She's had it since she was a sophomore in high school, Brooke.
And just lit up telling us about it today. Just so proud of it and what she and her family have accomplished for so many women and children who need help.
Final minute of the half. Game that has gone back and forth. Kubek, her three is short. Chesky with a rebound. Chesky looking inside, Soka Nguyen. And a foul's going to be called on Kubek. And she bumped Soka Nguyen on the entry pass. Here it is.
Well, more of a frustration foul maybe than anything there.
Kubek came in from Maryland. Beaumont struggling to get it in, lobs it out to Soka Nguyen. Final seconds of the half. Chesky going to work on Bowles, missed it. Bowles with a rebound. About a 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
I think they'll go for one here. But you're going to see Bowles, high ball screen, come in right in off the drive. Oh, she goes with the double screen. She can create off that bounce, that's for sure.
Double team comes out. Bowles still using her dribble, picks it up to Shavers. Shot clock is at 5. Shavers got to make a move, falls down, out of bounds. 2 seconds on the game clock. And Indiana will have 2 seconds to try to get the shot off.
They locked it up defensively.
Yeah.
That's a great possession for them.
Caffey lost it. Oh, what an outstanding first half. The first road game of the season for the
Wins, and you see the wall of excellence up there for Florida State.
So we open the second half, Indiana with the basketball. Shea Chesky, Soka Guman, they're the 2 leading scorers. They go inside to Beaumont, and Beaumont has not only been the 3rd scorer, she's been the leading scorer today for the Hoosiers.
She's really taken a good handle on the ball in terms of just being aggressive, right? Not waiting for Chesky to get her to get involved, just doing it herself. And I thought Indiana is also doing a good job of breaking that pressure of Florida State. Every now and then they're going to shoot backdoor to try to keep the defense honest.
Again, that was a point of emphasis for Indiana. If you were not with us earlier, they are trying to establish a 3rd scorer. Chesky, number 10, and Soka and Guman, number 23. They're the 2 main scorers for the Hoosiers. Green with a nice steal. Green will go in and draws the foul and 1. Kadletsova just could not resist and fouled at the very end.
Let me geek out over this defense right here. Look at this outside hand, tip, go after the basketball, and then you finish with an and 1. Yeah, clip this, watch it 100 times anytime you're feeling low in confidence, because that is an excellent play from Tatum Green.
I call that a summer camp clip. The summer campers are going to see that one.
Yeah, that's definitely one to show.
Green completes the 3-point play. Green transferred in from Boston College. Her mom was a Tar Heel. Florida State within 2 at home, their 4th game in the last 10 days. Soka Guman fouled on the way up by Green.
See the 2-man game right now between Shea Chesky and Soka Guman. I like it. They're reading each other well, and you see that decision right there. Stop, ball fake, bounce pass, draws the foul. Make the play simple. I know they're not easy, but they look simple. When you execute, Indiana's getting good results.
Kubek back in for the Seminoles. Soka Guman at the free throw line, averaging a double-double this year, 17 points and 10 rebounds a game. Knocks down the first one. A reminder, our women's basketball doubleheader will be Wednesday night. NC State will host Coastal Carolina at 6 Eastern, and then Louisville will host Morehead State, both available also on the all-new ESPN app. Congratulations to the Louisville Cardinals. They won their ACC opener today against Clemson. And how about that second effort? Kadletsova got the miss, drew the foul, and stuck it in. This could be a big possession for Indiana.
Indiana starting this 3rd quarter exactly how you'd want to see the team come out of the locker room fired up on the road. That's just straight hustle. That's beating you to the ball and wanting it more.
Foul was on Rish, and so going to the free throw line, Kadletsova. Kadletsova from the Czech Republic saw limited action last season, but is one of their main players this season. And that is very, very comforting to Terry Morin to have players back that are used to her system and can help some of the newcomers. Shavers, nothing but net.
Sounded good, didn't
Yeah,
it? I
string
like that
music.
sound. Yeah, Shavers coming off 28 again from Nicholls State, 6 threes. Somebody that comes in as another 1,000-point scorer and could be that 3rd, 4th, 5th scorer.
Shavers with 4 points today. Hoosiers up 3 here in the 3rd quarter, their first road game of the season. Will step through pass now to Caffey, and Caffey buries the 3 from the corner. It's only the 4th made 3 of the season for Nevaeh Caffey.
Terry Moore wants to see more from her offensively, and I think she'll definitely take that.
And a foul called the Seminoles on offense.
The drive and dish from Indiana with the extra pass. This is quality basketball right here. This is what Coach Moore wants to see. And that way you distribute, you get an assist out of it, your confidence is up. The freshman seeing the ball go in from deep and behind the three.
Caffey, though, committed the foul on the defensive end, her third. Coach going to leave her in the game. Quick shoot by Shavers off the back of the rim. Caffey gets the rebound. Seminoles struggling to make the three ball today. That was their 9th three attempt. They've made 2. Remember, their goal is to shoot 35 a game, and they average making 11 a game. Chesky off the mark as well. Good rebound by Girton. Excuse me, that's Bonner. Bonner with a rebound.
Well, you know, Florida State has not gotten a lot of transition buckets. Indiana's doing a good job of getting back and then clogging up the lanes. See Florida State trying to drive, and Indiana walling up, not fouling. That is smart defense.
It's been an excellent defensive performance by Indiana. Beaumont, no one there, took advantage of it with the short jumper. And Beaumont continues to add to her point total.
And a great job because she sees a lane opening, goes for it, makes the shot, and doesn't drive into traffic hoping for the foul. She shot the short floater, and I love that. I respect that.
5 of 8 shooting today. Good move by Shavers, and Shavers with the take and the bucket. Tasha Howard appreciated that move. Indiana up by 6. Indiana replaced 9 players from last year's NCAA tournament team, and a foul called on Shavers, getting a little too physical with Soka Guman, according to the official. Terry Moore in her 12th season as the head coach of the Hoosiers, 10 straight 20-win seasons. They did just sign a top 10 recruiting class, Brooke, so they are doing a good job trying to replace all those players they lost and create a brand new team.
It feels like a lot of coaches just trying to re-recruit their own players.
Yeah.
And also good to know.
Chesky gets called for the push-off offensive foul. Again, we told you, she told us I play with a chip on my shoulder. A little too much chip there. That's her 3rd foul too.
That was the spicy chips. We just need the sea salt maybe for the rest of the game.
She will stay in the game, however. She is so fun to watch. Number 10 in red.
She really is.
Stotine in the game for the Hoosiers now, number 1 in red. Treadwell into the game as well, set that screen. Here's Bowles, and Bowles, she was not going to be denied.
I like how she keeps her dribbling. You know, she really felt in control on that play, and she's able to make spin moves, bump into traffic, and still stay in control. That tells you how strong a player is when you can't knock them off course like that.
Shot clock at 10. Soka Guman on the way to the bucket, missed. Risch with a rebound.
Gotta finish those.
Florida State full of positionless players. Even the bigs can bring it up the floor. Just saw that by Risch. Did it all by herself but missed the shot. Treadwell with a rebound. Now Risch will shoot the long 3, no good. And the ball will stay with Florida State.
Avery Treadwell has put in so much effort in this game, and you see Soka Guman kind of grab her shorts at the end there. Maybe needing a breather, she'll step out. But this is working right here. 2 post players just going at it, trying to keep the ball in bounds.
So Soka Guman out of the game now for Indiana. Kadletsova is in, number 15 in her place, along with Noyan. It'll be Florida State's ball under the basket. One of our officials, Chuck Gonzalez, having a conversation with some of the players.
When you say no yawn, do you know how hard it is not to yawn?
No yawn. That's how you say it. That's how you say it. Treadwell. Oh, nice shot.
Hard to believe she only has 6 points, Sam, but she's on 3 of 4 shooting. 6 key rebounds, though. That's been the key for Treadwell and Florida State.
Seminoles within 2, and a foul on Bowles defensively for Florida State. Team 4th foul. So the Hoosiers, Chesky will inbound it. And Stotijn from the Netherlands running the point right now to Chesky. Good drop off by Chesky, and Noyan is fouled by Kubek.
Yeah, Kubek just making sure she didn't get the and one opportunity. Knew she fouled, but said, you're not going to get 3 out of here, maybe 2.
Kubek, this is her only season with the Seminoles. Set a Maryland NCAA tournament record with 7 threes made in the first round last year. And here's, I have to say her name, Brooke. I don't want to make you yawn. Noyan at the free throw line. She's from Sweden, transferred in from Virginia. And one of those players, Terry Morin, says, you know, she's an example of a player that starts in one program, then they come into a new program, they have to learn a new role.
Yep, and 23 starts at UVA, but just, 5 points, 4 rebounds. She was on the Swedish junior national team, so she's got that big game experience. Now it's about getting reps.
I do love how Terry is very upfront with each individual player and defining their role on the team. I think that is crucial. Kubek and 1. She said, my teammates call me grandma because I'm the oldest player on the team.
Oh, the
she did not look elderly there.
I would say seasoned. I would say a veteran. I would say vintage, but I would not say old. Kubek is no grandma out there. Come on. With moves like that?
No.
Still got it. And helpful to work through some of those plays, showing early frustration, silly fouls. And it's helpful to work through it in that play.
Florida State has never led in this game. Indiana holding on to a 1-point lead. The Hoosiers have been up by as many as 9. Knocked out of bounds by Bowles. So timeout on the floor. It's getting tight. Florida State still looking for that elusive lead against Vertuit, but that she was a legend where you grew up. Yes. Everybody knew who she was.
Yes, you just knew. And it was awesome to watch her, take over the city the way she did. I mean, on that list, you had players that went to Tennessee, players that won national championships at the D2 level, and still, Brooke topped them all. She was the best athlete at the time in the city of Cincinnati. Pretty awesome. She
became an ACC legend. Stotijn unable to get that to go down as the shot clock was expiring. Remember, Florida State has not led in this game. A chance to take the lead here. Off the mark was Bonner. Beaumont had her career high at the half. Nice move, but lost it for a second, had to bring it back out.
Good decision instead of trying to force the shot.
Noyan inside is fouled in the post. And the foul is going to be called on, so it looks like it's going to go against Bonner. Panya Davis coming back in. Davis has had a good game today. 6 points, 5 rebounds. Noyan at the free throw line. This is just the 3rd free throw she's shot this season. And made it look good.
She did.
Barely touched the net.
It didn't even move. Yeah, she's got a nice shot. She's got size, great footwork. So again, as she gets more repetitions and time on the floor, I think she's going to be very impactful.
Terry Morin's got to be happy with her bench today. That's what Florida State's known for, is just their incredible bench production. And Shavers draws the foul as Noyan fouls Shavers. But that's been, it's all, I think Terry Morin, it's safe to say, is just continuously learning about her team. And today the bench has done a good job.
Yeah, they have. You got to be able to count on quality minutes that you can trust that your second squad's going to come in and, at least hold down the work that the first squad has done. And Indiana, offensively, they're pretty balanced as well. You've got 3 players with at least 22 field goals on the season. 7 players play 15 minutes plus. And that's early season, right? Like, you're going to tighten up by the time conference season rolls around. But it's good to count on your bench early, especially in a game like this.
Shavers coming off a 28-point game against Nicholls State, makes 1 of 2. That was a 3rd foul on Noyan. So she is out of the game now for the Hoosiers.
Taking a rest, but not a nap. So I had to get some pun in there. Come on.
Because of the name Noyan, for those of you wondering what Brooke's talking about. You know, it is interesting, though, as I was going through Florida State's information, a lot of their players take naps before the game. That's a pregame ritual for them.
Our coach never let us nap. He said, don't go to sleep. After you eat, you're not allowed to hit the bed. But a lot of us try to sneak in a nap anyways. I think it's a superpower.
I do, too. It's incredible. Florida State still looking for the first lead of the game. And a foul on Caffey. That's going to be her 4th. Caffey will come out of the game. Stotine will replace her. Caffey, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. A freshman from Warrenton, Missouri. Miss Show Me Basketball. That's what they call the Player of the Year in the state of Missouri in high school last year. And Shavers will go back to the free throw line.
And did you catch in that huddle where Lenee Beaumont kind of tapped her head like, we have to be smarter about the risks that we take defensively. And you get defense in, but you definitely lose some offense with Caffey, who's kind of shown she can be versatile.
Shavers looking good from the free throw line. 3 of 4, and that is the first lead for the Seminoles this afternoon. Indiana has missed every shot over the last 4 minutes. And Florida State in the lead for the first time. Chesky trying to break the scoring drought. Stotine, shot clock under 10. Stotine pulls the trigger. In and out. Sokaguman. Foul called. I'm going to check that. No foul called. It's going to be Florida State basketball. And the Indiana bench erupting after that. They felt like there was an over the back. Officials did not agree, and Florida State with a chance to build on its first lead.
You know, that battle inside again, Rapanya Davis and Sokaguman. We said it was going to be key. That was a key play right there.
Good look inside. Kubek draws the foul and makes the bucket. And it was Davis who had the assist.
And Howard off her feet for that one. You love it. Great passing, a great catch from Kubek. That was a difficult shot. Her pass to catch, and then I'm gonna get hyped for that. Off her feet. She says, that's the Noles I came here to see.
Kubek trying to complete her second three-point play of the game. And does. All 6 of her points have come from 2 3-point plays in the lane. And the Seminoles, who had not led until a minute ago, are now up 4. They've outscored Indiana 15-3 over the last 440. Beaumont gets a screen, goes the other way. Chesky, the leading scorer for Indiana. Shot clock down to 5. Stotine has her shot blocked. Seminoles in transition. Shavers. And one. Bumped on the arm.
I'm loving the team chemistry here. Everybody going up the field just as hype as Shavers did after she hits this 8.0 degree of difficulty shot. That's not easy. This is like the new dance in college basketball. This is what I'm seeing. I've seen it at UCLA. I'm seeing it here. I'm seeing Paige Beckers do it online. Is this something we got to learn?
I'm just shocked you don't know it already. I mean, come on,
I'm out
bro.
of the game. I'm out of that
game. No, you're not. You're very much the authority on all things pop culture and basketball. But how about these Seminoles?
How about it?
Stotine had committed the foul, and now 2 straight three-point plays for Florida State have put them up by 7. They did not lead the entire game until this quarter.
Indiana can't hold on to the ball this whole possession. They got to shoot a little earlier, and that will certainly help, but going to get called for the charge.
Offensive foul on Beaumont. She points to her chest, didn't argue the call, said, my bad. And everything going Florida State's way right now.
So when you have the momentum like that, it's easier to then set up and take a charge because the defense is feeling confident. The offense in Indiana's case feeling a little hesitant. You saw that there, developing that play and end up with a charge.
Looking to Davis. Good job by Davis.
So Terry Moore, I think, going to call a timeout here. She needs to get a chance to regroup this squad. This last 90 seconds, they need to make a turn. Different scores contribute to this 14-1 run in a huge third quarter.
Florida State has scored 20 points over the last 6 minutes. They did not lead the entire first half, got the first lead of the game here in the third quarter. Again, they've made 9 shots here in the third quarter. Noyon back in the game, buries the 3 for the Hoosiers.
How about that? Come right in, great set play from Terry Morin off the get-go. Inbounds.
That's the first made 3 of the season for Noyon. What a time to make it. And now the Hoosiers force a turnover. Kyaku into the game, number 7 in red, the senior from Garner, North Carolina. Trying to give the Hoosiers a little momentum heading into the fourth quarter. It's been all Seminoles.
An interesting substitution for Morin, who puts Journey Kyaku in there for experience at the point guard position when you need it most.
And a foul away from the ball. Going to go against Shavers. Coach Wyckoff, man, her team has shown a lot of fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That third quarter was a different looking Florida State team than we saw in the first and second quarter. They got it together, and then you see how dangerous they are. You know, when you have a team as diverse scoring as they are, it's hard to keep up.
Chesky, the only returning starter for the Hoosiers this year, and their leading scorer at 5'7". Just a fierce competitor, worth the price of admission. You're only going to want to follow her all season. She's going to do some big things. Already a Big Ten Player of the Week so far.
And we talked about Hidalgo's record-breaking steals. She had 15 in a game one time.
Shavers trying to shake Chesky, goes to the hoop. Yes! What a shot!
Chesky's got to get some help side.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Chesky rifles the pass. Beaumont says, my fault. Was not in the spot Chesky thought she'd be in. And so 9 seconds left in this third quarter. Florida State up 6, trying to finish with a bucket. Bowles pulls the trigger. Well, Florida State turned this game around in the third quarter.
Well, they're doing well, despite not having their leading scorer in the game. Legs are fresh, 4th game in 10 days. That's Florida State digging deep here, finding that energy, and certainly crowd helping here at home. Some key plays, but that third quarter was huge for the Seminoles. Look at that field goal percentage. That's what I mean about taking smart shots.
And a foul on the baseline by Kyaku is going to put Bowles on the free throw line right away. So going into those numbers, Florida State only made 11 shots in the first 2 quarters. They have made 10 in the third quarter. And now they'll be at the free throw line here to start the fourth. Bowles, 14 points today, 3 for 4 from the line. And Bowles, a Dean Smith student, as a civil engineering major. Said she's a Y person, so that's one of the reasons she connects with Coach Wyckoff. Coach Wyckoff's good at explaining things to her in a way that her analytical brain understands.
She is. I could see Brooke being able to do that. And also, Sydney's had such an interesting journey as a player. You look back to her freshman year, Texas A&M, 29 starts as a freshman, but then just 1 start her sophomore season, leading her to transfer coming here. And this is the brains of the business here on the team, the engineering major, civil, chemical, and then pre-engineering from Maury Girton.
Beaumont trying to get an opening, leans in. Lenee Beaumont draws the foul, but did not get the bucket to go down. The foul's going to be called on Bowles. Bowles was asking for an offensive foul on Beaumont, but will not get her wish. And Lenee Beaumont will go to the free throw line, and Bowles going to come out of the game for a moment. Beaumont with 3 fouls.
And Beaumont, you said, trying to make up for a couple of mistakes in this game. Plays patient, plays strong, gets in there, gets to the line. You know, it's that short mentality between mistake and next play. It helps you grow as a player, and I love the young sophomore. It's getting shorter and shorter, that recovery time.
Beaumont has a connection to Florida State. Her mom was a volleyball player here. This school, Florida State, has a long tradition of outstanding volleyball players. In fact, their head volleyball coach, Chris Poole, is the winningest active coach in NCAA Division I. Also got a very good beach volleyball program here led by Brooke Niles.
We're talking.
Yeah. Shavers open for the jumper. A good rebound by Soka Guman. Love that box out.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. And she's such a quick leaper that she reads the ball quickly when it comes off the glass. So even if she's a bit out of position or not boxing out fully, that's where her athleticism, her strength can come in play.
Don't count Indiana out. Just a 5-point lead for the Seminoles. Chesky going to work on the baseline. Soka Guman, 6 on the shot clock. Knocked away by Rish. 5 on the shot clock. And it'll be Indiana basketball. Good hustle by Rish.
And you see the way they're anticipating that cross-court pass, knowing Soka Guman, if she's bodied up in the paint, she's going to look to go cross-court.
Beaumont will throw it in for the Hoosiers. They're going to have to put up a shot quickly. Nice inbounds play. Stotine short on the shot. Soka Guman with the offensive board and stick back.
Big board, and then after that, did you see the patience as she waited, little pump fake, gets her defenders up in the air, and the soft lay-in. That she made look easy.
Hoosiers back to within 3. Green, good fake.
Oh.
Davis missed the follow.
That quick reaction from Davis.
Yeah, Indiana very fortunate there that Seminoles didn't get a bucket. Stotine, sophomore from the Netherlands. Coach Morin giving Stotine extended minutes today. Chesky open for 3 off the mark. And Bonner with the rebound and will bring it up herself now. Bonner missed the UConn game, was sick. Rish. Chesky quickly up the floor. Chesky will take it herself, and 1 foul on Bonner. There's that chip on her shoulder.
You know, and it starts with what? Her going after the rebounds. She's already a guard who can give you a double-double with boards, steals, you name it. Here she leads the charge, gets right in there, doesn't make it fancy, but she makes it right. And there's that intensity I'm talking about. See it in her eyes, and then she immediately goes to being more vocal with her teammates. That's what she told us. That's a growth moment for me. I got to be better about it.
It's one of the things Coach Morin wants from her as well, to communicate to her teammates how much she believes in them. Obviously, she's going to try to have the ball in her hand at crucial moments, but those stars got to let the people around them that they believe in them. Game tied now. Indiana scored 7 unanswered points. And an offensive foul on Kubak, who went down hard and is holding her head. Kubak sitting up now.
Yeah.
Kubak driving to the basket. No foul called on the play, but she's up, walking, that's a good sign. Here's the play.
She goes in hard, and then you see her lose her balance at the end. Soka Guman taking the contact, and then you can't exactly see it from there, but I had a direct line, and her head definitely bounced off the floor, and you can see trying to recover from it here.
And so just a turnover on Florida State, and the Hoosiers now with a chance to retake the lead after that outstanding third quarter by Florida State. Chesky off the mark. Chesky's shots have not been falling today at the typical rate they usually fall. She is 5 of 13, has 13 points. The Indiana's ball. Beaumont in the corner takes a step back. She's got Rish in front of her. Chesky. Chesky going to work. Nice take. What a move.
It was the hezzy, and then she saw the left side of the lane open up and goes into explosive mode. You cannot rest when you have her in front of you.
Chesky commits the foul on the other end, and so Florida State will be on the line. Bowles will. Here's that last bucket.
Yeah, I love these two going at it. One-on-one, you see Chesky with the quick up and under move. She's going to use her size and quickness to get by Bowles, and then on the other end, Bowles saying, I'm going to respond right away, keep my team here.
Yeah. Good job by the officials after that play. They talked to both teams about complaining after foul calls. Just without throwing out a technical or anything, just gave everybody a warning. Hey, let's keep it together here. Bowles with the free throw, trying to tie the score. Bowles, leading scorer for the Seminoles, 16 points and counting. Make it 17, and we're tied again.
Sandy, you bring up a great point, and the officials reminding players, hey, this is a competitive game, but you also got to keep your composure. And those are two elements of a highly contested game like this that can make a difference.
Good battle inside, Soka Guman and Treadwell. Soka Guman throws the pass right to Green for Florida State. Green hesitates at the three, drives, and will go to the line. The foul is on Noyan, and that'll be her fourth. So Indiana will have 4 players now with 4 fouls: Noyan, Chesky, and Caffey.
And did you see the way Green kind of baited her into that three-point shot? Just enough of a hezzy to bring Noyan up and off balance. And then she drove right by her to get to the line. That was an excellent play.
And Green's mom, Chanel, played for the Tar Heels, actually competed against Coach Wyckoff when Coach Wyckoff was playing for the Seminoles. She tells a funny story about how her mom blocked one of Brooke's shots, then Brooke came down, blocked her shot, and they got into it on the floor a little bit.
And she said, all right, Tatum, now come on and do that for me.
I want you to play for her. Foul on the rebound on Noyan, and Noyan will be gone. 5th foul on Noyan, the junior from Sweden, who may not know engineering major like a lot of the players for Florida State, but Florida State hasn't made a field goal this quarter. I think that might be a big reason also why Indiana's come back.
Yeah, both teams really stepping it up defensively when it matters. Like, you feel like no team can go on much more than a 5-0 run here in this game. There's too much pride on the defensive end, and big name basketball with big brands here. You love it.
To your point, Chesky with her hand in the passing lane. Good denial defense, knocked that out of bounds. Noyan has just fouled out for Indiana. Bowles with the take, missed it. Treadwell knocked out of bounds by Indiana. So the Seminoles will keep it. Good battle there with Treadwell and Wiseman. We've got some nice interior battles in this game. The headlines are all about the outside shooting, but I'm loving watching the interior in this game.
Yeah, the post game's been epic.
Good D by Indiana, disrupting this Florida State offense on this possession. Third inbounds play.
We had talked to the first half. There wasn't a whole lot of flow offensively, and I think this is why you're seeing so much good defense and disruptive defense that neither team can really get into that rhythm.
Shot clock a factor now. Shavers will pull the trigger, no good. Beaumont gets the rebound. Hoosiers with a chance to take the lead. Under 6 to play. Beaumont sizing up the D, trips, and is tied up. Indiana will keep it. Possession arrow gives the ball to the Hoosiers. And Beaumont, what a breakthrough game she's had today. A career high 18 points, 6 of 9 shooting overall, made both her 3-point attempts, and has been perfect from the free throw line, along with 5 rebounds. And that is what Indiana's been looking for, that third big scorer, and they've needed the points. Stowtine will inbound it for the Hoosiers. 8 on the shot clock. To Beaumont. Quick shot, good.
Nope, they wanted her to be less second guessing, I should say, so more confident in herself, and that's a play that she can draw back on.
20 points for Beaumont. Stotine commits the foul, defending Bowles out near half court.
And executing in the out of bounds play, that's huge. That is a big time play for Indiana.
Hoosiers up by a point. Florida State now in the bonus. Bowles at the line. Bowles at the free throw line today, 6 of 8. She's the leading scorer for the Seminoles. 17 points. Bowles 7 of 10 from the free throw line today. And we are tied at 61 with 5:34 to play. And Brooke, in the open of the show, you said these are the kind of games that may pay dividends when we get close to Selection Sunday.
I mean, this feels like a second round game to me. I mean, think about how important it is to get those big quality non-conference wins. Chesky just bodies Bowles.
Defender fell down. She had a wide open jumper, and Chesky now with 17 points. Risch into Davis. Davis backing in against Soka Guman. Hoosier ball. Chesky turning on the Jets to the wing. Beaumont. Yes, Beaumont with 23 points. She's made all 3 of her 3 attempts.
And how about it? You saw earlier her take some accountability as Brooke Wyckoff's going to call the timeout.
Asked her, which of your moves did you get from Allie? And Allie quickly jumped in and said, none of them. She does it all on her own. Seminoles need a response. Who do they have that will step up? Davis spins, banks it in. Good post move by Panya Davis.
And a good lead-in pass from Sydney Bowles, who placed it exactly in the pocket, knowing Davis, had she just turned her right shoulder, could get to the rim easily.
Yeah, 4 assists for Bowles today. Florida State's passing has been excellent. Chesky. This is Beaumont. And Beaumont has not missed a 3 today. Straight down the lane, shot is missed. Soka Guman with the offensive board. Beaumont gives it back to Soka Guman, draws the foul. And the foul is going to be against Sydney Bowles.
Indiana, one of their mottos has been fight harder. And that possession, Sam, to me right there was so aggressive, so quick cutting, crispy passing. That's what you hope to see every single possession if you're Indiana. No, you're not always going to get the scoring out of it, but if you can get that kind of effort, that's what you're doing right.
Bowles just picked up her 4th foul. Soka Guman off the mark on the free throws. Now 2 for 4 from the line today. Indiana as a team, 14 of 18 this afternoon from the free throw line.
What? We have nobody doing the 6-7?
67, 63. I know they didn't get the memo.
Didn't catch on in time.
Used all the
I'm
energy
shocked.
at the football game last
Well,
night.
I think are we 6-7 out? Are we about there yet?
We might be.
We might.
Stotine crosses half court for Indiana. The Hoosiers, this is their first road game of the season. They opened up in Assembly Hall for their first 3 games. Chesky down the line, fearless.
Get out of here. What? 5-7 over 6-6. That's a gamer, y'all.
Bowles coming right back, has it stripped away by Chesky. And the ball will stay with Florida State, but man, Chesky is disrupting right now.
There's a different switch inside of her. There's a different level of competitiveness that is presenting itself in this game. Like, she is the most determined player on the floor.
Florida State having trouble getting baskets. Davis finally sticks that in. They had missed not their last 9 shots. They were one of their last 10. And that ends a little bit of a scoring drought. 4-point game, Indiana up under 3 to play. Hoosiers 3-0 this season, Florida State 3-1. They're only lost to UConn. Shot clock down to 7. Chesky trying to create something, and does. The 3 by Chesky.
Ice in her veins for Chesky. The shot clock running down late. She stayed calm. She said, Z, hook me up with a ball screen. Let me decide. Read the defense and reacted with a 3.
That was her first made 3 of the game as well. Bowles had it stripped, got it back, and Bowles would not be denied, so she'll go to the line.
That's what she's so good at, is her relentless ability to get to the basket. She's somebody you have to work so hard to stop her, send a double, do what you can. But when she's in all of this activity right here from Indiana, I'm just trying to contest. That is a near impossible shot to make. Over Z, you start backwards and you got to turn midair to hit it. Just give her the space to hit a tough contested shot.
Fouls on Stotine, her 4th. And so Bowles will be on the free throw line now with 18 points. 7 of them have come from the free throw line. Bowles, one of the seniors on this team, team captain. He's a big leader in recruiting other players to come here, and they had so many to replace. Makes 1 of 2. It's a 6-point game right now with 2:24 to play. Possession arrow favors Florida State. Indiana has made 6 of their last 7 shots. They have been red hot here in this 4th quarter. They've outscored the Seminoles 22-10.
And the Seminoles trying to add a little more pressure to the Hoosiers, knowing that Marshall forced those turnovers against them. With that pressure, we'll see, is it too late in the game?
Soka Guman, good pass from Stotine, doesn't get the finish. Florida State with a chance to eat into the Indiana lead. 2 minutes to play. And a foul. It's on Stotine, who will foul out of the game with 1:57 to play. Stotine, though, seeing extended minutes today. That'd be a vote of confidence for her, that Coach Morin believed in her to put her on the floor so much today.
You like her defense, but you hate that foul so far away from the basket. It gives Florida State the clock stop, the ability to score, set up their defense.
Shavers on the line. She's 4 of 5 today. Make it 5 of 6. The tuck is rocking.
There we go. There we go.
Okay.
All right. All right. Coming through.
Because they
Good
hit
job.
67.
Okay.
Yeah, the home team.
That's how it works. It has to be the
Yeah.
home team. Okay. See, look at you, pop culture. You know what put me on.
Is that great education I have? Chesky facing full court pressure. The lead is 4 for Indiana.
Yep.
And an offensive foul on Chesky.
This is
and
huge.
Chesky has just fouled out.
She knew it, though.
Chesky fouling out with 22 points. Here it is.
Let's take another look. Now she might be having a conversation, but yeah, you extend. That's it. I mean, that is the correct call, and that's tough. Wow, what's Florida State going to do now? How are they going to defend differently? Is Kyaku going to be the key here late to stop Bowles?
Kyaku, number 7 in red for Indiana, came in to replace Chesky. Just over 90 seconds in regulation. Seminoles trailing. Risch with the drive. Yes! 2-point game.
To me, Beaumont or Soka Guman are the ones that take the shots now.
Beaumont off the glass, no good. Soka Guman, huge offensive rebound and stick back.
That is a box out that Davis missed, but Z with that strength getting the board. What a pass inside!
Davis doesn't make the shot. Beaumont decides not to throw the pass to Kyaku, who was open, backs it out, and Indiana will take a timeout. The Hoosiers with a 4-point lead with under a minute to Indiana with the ball. Caffey with Rish in her face, looking to get it in. Soka Guman lost it, picked up by Davis. Turnover, Florida State with a chance, down by 4. 45 seconds left in regulation. Rish creates an opening, gets the 2. And a timeout called by Florida State. A 2-point game with so 39.5 seconds left. Possession arrow favors the Seminoles. Florida State with 2 timeouts left, Indiana with 1 left. A foul by either team would put the other on the free throw line. Caffey will try to get it in bounds for Indiana. Shot clock is full at 30.
Let's see the way Indiana plays this. You see Soka Guman going down to the post, so a high ball screen. And she'll come up for that ball screen. I think if she's able to slip that and get the ball in the pocket right here that she wants.
Got a 10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Kyaku now goes toward the rim. Kyaku with her left hand. Yes! Kyaku with a critical bucket to push Indiana up by 2 with just over 15 seconds left. They have accomplished a lot of things they haven't been able to accomplish in their first 3 games of the season.
Yeah, Terry Moran wanted to see growth. She saw it tonight and may get out of here with a win.
15.6 seconds left. Florida State got to get a shot off. Bowles into Kubek, sailed right through her hands. That'll turn it over with 9.4 seconds left.
Yeah, Brooke Wyckoff with a great design play.
Timeout with under a minute. You get to inbound the ball on your side of the court. That's why they call that timeout there. Lob to Beaumont, she's collapsed upon. And a jump ball called. And the possession arrow will give it to Florida State.
Oh, what a heads up play for a couple of Florida State players to just go right in on Beaumont and try to keep their hands on the ball.
And now Florida State will take a timeout.
I mean, you got to almost pass and shoot. Don't have too much time for playing around. 1 or 2 passes at most.
Shavers will inbound it for the Seminoles. She has Caffey jumping in front of her. Gets it into Davis. Clock is running. Shavers puts up the 3. Missed it, and Indiana's going to win. Kyaku grabbed the rebound. And a foul called. Foul called against Florida State. It was on Kubek. And so Indiana has come on the road to Tallahassee and getting their first road win in their first road game. And Kyaku was a big reason why, with that big bucket she had.
Big bucket.
To give Indiana the lead late.
And the responsibility on your shoulders to step in late like that after having sat on the bench for most of this game. What a huge play. And the senior was the transfer from North Carolina Central. And Duquesne started all 33 games there, was the MEAC Rookie of the Year. Oh, we have an injury.
So Indiana wins the game, but Soka Guman went down on that last